Most ginger growers are unknowingly starving their plants, and buying the wrong fertilizers makes it worse. The truth is, ginger is a root crop that depends on rich, living soil, and when we rely too much on chemical fertilizers, we strip away the very microbes and nutrients that make the roots thrive. But here's the exciting part. You don't need expensive farm inputs to fix this problem. In fact, some of the most powerful natural boosters are already hiding in your kitchen. From compost tea brewed out of food scraps, to banana peels packed with potassium, to wood ash that strengthens rhizomes, and even used coffee grounds that enrich the soil, these simple, organic options can transform your ginger harvest. In today's video, I'll show you how each of these boosters works, how to prepare them, and the right way to apply them so your ginger grows faster, healthier, and keeps your soil fertile for years to come. By the end, you'll see that growing ginger the natural way isn't just possible. It's the smarter, more sustainable path to bigger yields and better farming. When it comes to ginger farming, the fertilizer you choose can make or break your harvest. Ginger is a root crop, which means every bit of growth depends on what's happening beneath the soil. Unlike leafy vegetables that can sometimes push through poor nutrition, ginger develops underground, and its rhizomes are directly shaped by the nutrients available in the soil. If the soil is rich, balanced, and alive with microbes, your ginger will grow plump, aromatic, and full of flavor. But if the soil is depleted or overloaded with the wrong inputs, the plants struggle, the roots stay small, and the harvest disappoints. The mistake many growers make is relying too heavily on chemical fertilizers. Sure, they give a quick burst of growth, but they act like fast food for plants, short-term energy that leaves the soil weaker over time. Chemical inputs often kill beneficial microbes, compact the soil, and create nutrient imbalances that ginger roots simply cannot tolerate. Over seasons, this leads to declining yields, weaker plants, and soil that needs more and more artificial feeding just to keep crops alive. Organic fertilizers, on the other hand, work differently. They don't just feed the plant, they feed the soil. They improve structure, increase water retention, and encourage microbial activity that naturally unlocks nutrients for ginger roots. Think of them as a long-term investment. Every application builds healthier soil that keeps giving back year after year. That's why choosing the right fertilizer isn't just about this season's harvest. It's about protecting your farm's future. By switching to natural boosters, you're not only growing better ginger, you're creating a sustainable system where the soil, the microbes, and the plants all work together in harmony. Compost tea is one of the simplest yet most powerful natural fertilizers you can make at home, because it takes ordinary kitchen scraps and transforms them into a nutrient-rich liquid that ginger plants can absorb almost instantly. And the process is straightforward. You collect vegetable peels, fruit leftovers, and other organic waste. Let them decompose in a compost pile or bin, and then steep a portion of that compost in water for several days until the liquid turns dark and earthy, which means the nutrients and beneficial microbes have leached into the water. And when you pour this tea around your ginger plants, you are not only feeding them nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, but also inoculating the soil with living organisms that help unlock nutrients naturally. And unlike chemical sprays that shock the plant, compost tea works gently, strengthening the roots, improving soil texture, and creating a balanced environment where ginger rhizomes can expand freely. And the beauty of this method is that it costs nothing, reduces kitchen waste, and can be repeated every few weeks without fear of damaging the soil, making it a sustainable cycle where your scraps become food for your farm, your soil becomes healthier, and your ginger harvest becomes larger and more flavorful season after season. Wood ash is another hidden treasure in your kitchen or backyard, especially if you cook with firewood or have access to clean, untreated wood, because the ash left behind is packed with potassium and calcium, two nutrients that ginger plants crave for strong rhizome development. And when you sprinkle a thin layer of ash around your ginger beds, you are giving the soil a natural boost that improves root strength, enhances disease resistance, and balances acidity. And unlike synthetic fertilizers that often overload the soil with salts, wood ash works slowly, releasing minerals over time, and it also helps repel certain pests that dislike alkaline conditions, which means you are protecting your crop while feeding it. And the key is moderation, because too much ash can raise the soil pH too high, so a handful spread evenly every few weeks is enough to keep the soil fertile without imbalance. And the best part is that this booster comes from waste you would otherwise throw away, turning something as simple as cooking residue into a powerful farming ally that keeps your ginger growing vigorously and your soil thriving naturally. Banana peels are often discarded in the kitchen, but for ginger farmers they are a goldmine of nutrients because they contain high levels of potassium, phosphorus, and calcium, all of which are essential for healthy rhizome growth. And the preparation is simple. You chop the peels into small pieces, bury them near the ginger roots, or blend them with water to create a liquid fertilizer. And as the peels decompose, they release nutrients slowly, feeding the soil and the plant in a steady rhythm that matches ginger's long growing season. And unlike chemical fertilizers that give a sudden spike and then fade, banana peels act like a slow-release capsule, ensuring your ginger has a consistent supply of energy. And farmers who adopt this method often notice stronger stems, healthier leaves, and larger rhizomes, because the potassium improves water regulation and disease resistance, while the phosphorus supports root expansion. And the beauty of this booster is that it is free, eco-friendly, and available in almost every household, turning everyday waste into a natural fertilizer that keeps your ginger farm productive and sustainable without extra cost. Used coffee grounds may seem like trash after your morning brew, but they are actually a rich source of nitrogen and organic matter that ginger plants love, because when you mix them into the soil, they improve texture, increase aeration, and encourage microbial activity. And nitrogen is especially important for ginger during its early growth stages, helping the plant produce strong shoots and lush leaves that support rhizome development underground. And the grounds also help retain moisture, which is critical for ginger since it dislikes dry soil. And unlike chemical nitrogen fertilizers that can burn roots, coffee grounds release nutrients gradually, creating a balanced environment where the plant can thrive. And the added bonus is that coffee grounds can deter certain pests like slugs, making them a dual-purpose booster. And the key is to use them in moderation, mixing them with compost or soil rather than piling them directly, because too much can make the soil acidic. But when applied correctly, this kitchen waste becomes a powerful ally that strengthens your ginger crop, enriches your soil, and reduces household waste, proving that even your morning coffee can contribute to a healthier farm. Now that you know the natural boosters hiding in your kitchen, the next step is learning how to apply them correctly, because even the best organic fertilizers can fail if they are used in the wrong way. And ginger, being a sensitive root crop, demands careful handling to avoid problems like root rot, nutrient imbalance, or soil acidity. So the first rule is moderation. Because organic boosters are powerful, but they release nutrients slowly, which means applying them every 3 to 4 weeks during the active growing season is enough to keep the plants nourished without overwhelming the soil. And when you use compost tea, it is best to pour it directly around the base of the plant so the liquid seeps into the root zone, while banana peels should be chopped or blended before burying them lightly in the soil to ensure faster decomposition. And wood ash should be sprinkled thinly and evenly, never in thick piles, because too much can raise the pH and lock out nutrients. And coffee grounds should always be mixed with compost or soil rather than applied raw, because blending them prevents acidity from building up and allows microbes to break them down naturally. And another important tip is to rotate boosters rather than relying on just one, because ginger thrives on balanced nutrition. So alternating between compost tea, banana peels, and coffee grounds ensures a steady supply of nitrogen, potassium, and phosphorus, while wood ash adds the extra minerals needed for strong rhizomes. And finally, always observe your plants, because healthy ginger will show lush green leaves, firm stems, and swelling rhizomes, while yellowing leaves or stunted growth may signal overuse or imbalance. And by following these simple application practices, you are not only feeding your ginger correctly, but also protecting your soil, ensuring that every season brings stronger plants, bigger harvests, and a farm that thrives naturally without dependence on chemicals. So now you can see that growing ginger successfully is not about chasing expensive chemical fertilizers or complicated formulas, but about returning to the simple, natural boosters that have been around us all along. Because when you use compost tea, banana peels, wood ash, and coffee grounds, you are not only feeding your plants, but also rebuilding the soil. And healthy soil is the foundation of every harvest, every season, and every farm. And the beauty of this approach is that it costs almost nothing. It reduces waste, and it creates a cycle where your kitchen scraps become the energy that drives your farm forward. And I have seen farmers who were once struggling with weak plants and poor yields transform their fields within 2 seasons simply by switching to these organic methods. Because the soil came back to life, the microbes returned, and the ginger rhizomes grew larger, healthier, and more aromatic than ever before. And this is the kind of farming that not only gives you profit, but also peace of mind, knowing that you are working with nature instead of against it. And if you are serious about building a sustainable ginger farm, then these boosters are your starting point, because they prove that farming success does not have to be complicated. It just has to be natural, consistent, and thoughtful. And as you put these tips into practice, remember that every handful of compost, every sprinkle of ash, every buried banana peel, and every scoop of coffee grounds is an investment in your soil, your plants, and your future. So let's grow ginger the organic way. Let's protect our farms, and let's inspire others to do the same. And if you found this video helpful, make sure to like, share, and subscribe, because together we can build a community of growers who believe in safe, sustainable, and profitable farming.